All right, Chad, we're live. I'm really sorry for what happened. I thought that I scheduled it at 9:30, the usual hour, but apparently I must have misclicked. I was looking at my live streams, and I noticed that every time I spoke about the Donald and the Epstein, immediate demonetization. And I was planning to go on my main channel to see if this is a trend. But unfortunately, I realized that I'm late for the live stream, so I haven't checked. But I'm actually curious, like, if the Democrats, the tactics that they perfected are going to be used by the Republicans. For those of you who aren't content creators and don't know, when there was like a major controversy under the Democrats, they wouldn't ban content creators or anything like that. No, what they would do is that they would tinker with the algorithm. And one way to tinker with the algorithm is to demonetize a video. Now, what happens is that YouTube actually wants to make money, right? So, like, they prioritize the videos that have ads, even though they deny that this is what they're doing. Most people don't believe it because, like, you get to see in your analytics, you get to see that when a video is demonetized, immediately it just plummets in views. And so, like, obviously, you know, content creators, they want to have an audience. Like, they want to talk to people. And you try to avoid, like, if you have 10 subjects to talk about, you try to avoid the subjects that you know are haram. And so many people would be like, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about this. And that was, like, the tactic that the Democrats were doing. And I'm really curious to see if the Republicans are now going to do them as well. So it's really fascinating. There are a couple of rumors on social media that right-wing content creators have been approached and asked not to talk about certain topics. I do know that content creators that are being shilled exist. This is what's interesting. A lot of people just don't understand how modern censorship works. It's definitely like more perfected and far more subtle than the old days. In the old days, if you said something nasty, you got banned, right? And when that happens, it looks bad, makes it seem like the government is trying to cover a subject, right? It's not kosher. And so what they're doing now is that they have influencers that they trust, you know, kind of like trusted flaggers. They have like trusted influencers. And these influencers either work for a company or they work for a government. But like the idea is that they're getting paid, right? Nothing illegal. Like they're getting paid and they're being offered talking points and they will be told it's like, okay, you need to say about this and these are the talking points that we want you to cover. Like those lists have gone around. I have seen them. The reason most people do it is because the influencer actually agrees with the points, right? So like you can have a right-wing influencer that's genuinely right-wing, and when you give him the points, like he will say them because like, well, he does believe in the cause. Take Vosh, for instance, right? Like, imagine if Vosh gets approached by a Democrat and he's being given a list and, like, $1,000 in order to talk about, I don't fucking know, RFK trying to ban sugary drinks from welfare, right? Like, this was something that a lot of influencers were paid to talk about how, oh, look, even Donald Trump likes to drink Pepsi and blah, 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 and now he's banning Pepsi from the poor. Right? That's how it works. And so, like, the algorithm pushes these people off. And if you're not connected, if you're not with the government, if you're not with an agency, then you get buried by the algorithm. And that's like the modern censorship, right? So, like, I'm curious if right-wingers do this as well now. I'm actually trying to see which influencers are going to say, oh, well, the Epstein list doesn't matter. It's probably a hoax. Just move on. Because, like, from what I've noticed, even Alex Jones is basically saying, yeah, you know what, Trump, a little bit too far. A little bit too far with this. Like, recently, he went woke and gone broke. He basically made the statement, let me see if I can show it to you, which is, like, really disturbing. It's almost like looking at what made Ubisoft, what made EA Games fail, and trying to copy the formula, you know? And the formula is to attack your base. To pretty much, like, attack the people that supported you. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't know if I saved it or not, but I do know that I made a video, which is going to be uploaded tomorrow with this. If not, I'm going to give you, like, the quick rundown. Yeah, okay, I'll just give you the quick rundown of what's happening. So, he posted on Truth Social, the fact that, like, he's tripling down, he's now saying that the Epstein files are a hoax. Okay, fine. But he's saying that the Democrats have brainwashed, like they have convinced his supporters into believing this because those supporters are weak, right? So like if you believe that the Epstein list is real, this is because you are weak and you are vulnerable to Democrats' manipulation. And that now his supporters are ignoring all the achievements and those supporters are losers. And he doesn't need them. And I'm looking at this wall of text, and what I'm thinking is like, wow, this is pretty much what Ubisoft would have done, or Walt Disney was doing, right? This is like literally the shit that the left was doing during the pandemic. Like a lot of people are genuinely, unironically disgusted with this tactic, to the point that when you're doing it, they don't care if you're left or right. They're disgusted with you as a person. So like, what is the tactic? Well, people have a concern. Apparently, they don't like being in a two-tier system, right? Where the elites get to break the law, but it's not like they're breaking the law subtly. No, like, they're breaking the law to the point where, like, fuck it, we don't care. And they're breaking the law not with, like, just corruption that people understand. You know, they embezzled some funds, they took some money, they did a little bit of nepotism, they put their kids in high places, right? Like, most people understand that shit. Like, that is unspoken, but, like, okay, fine. But they're accused of diddling kids. I mean, come on, you know, like, that's the accusation. Like, yeah, even in Russia, even in China, like, usually, you know, there are some limits. And so, like, people are concerned, right? And if you're saying, oh, no, it's a conspiracy theory, shut it down, go fuck yourself. Now, the interesting thing is that if you're a business, if you're a politician, if you're a content creator, you should never, ever, ever attack a segment of your own audience, of your own supporters, of your own customers. Because the way they view it is that an attack on one is an attack on all, you know? I personally know many individuals that have supported Donald Trump 100% over the last 12 years, nonstop. And these people have been banned from social media. They risk getting fired. Some of them did get fired. They risk getting alienated from their family. They got a lot of shit just for standing up to Donald Trump. And now they're actually caring about the list. Why do they care about the list? Because Donald Trump brought it up. And so, you got like all these people now upset, and Donald Trump is saying, yeah, I don't need you. Go fuck yourselves. It's like, what? In what world does this make any PR sense? In what world is this a good tactic? You know, never mind about the morality of the issue. Like I'm the guy that just goes into the room and I will be like, I understand what happened. Right? Like, I'm the damage control guy. I don't cast judgment. That's not my job. I'm not paid to cast judgment. I just get in the room and okay, I understand what happened. Let's see how we fix it. The last thing that I would say, you know what? We need to insult the people that care about it. Right? Like, can't you just open an investigation like a normal Eastern European, like they would do in Russia? Oh, we're opening an investigation. And then, like, after 5 years, people forget. If Trump wasn't defensive about it, he'd look like the good guy. That's also the point. Like, it's not in his power to release the list, is it? Like, as far as I know, like, please connect with someone that understands American legal matters. It's not in the president's power to release anything. Like, the list belongs to the DOJ, right? Or the FBI or whomever. The fact that he's defending it, the only way that this makes sense is if he wants it to be public. Like, he wants to rile people up, you know? Like, maybe someone's blackmailing him. Maybe someone is, like, offering something else in exchange. And he is like, okay, like, maximum pragmatism, Machiavelli level. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to piss off the public by being passive-aggressive about this issue, by being coy about this issue. Like, I'm going to enrage the public until even the Democrats will demand that the list is released. Maybe it's some like 12 underwater chests, you know, 12D underwater chests surrounded by tiger sharks. This is what it is. Imagine someone told you that the football team assaulted the girl, and that person asked you if you ever watched a football game, And if you say yes, they accuse you of being one of the assaulters. No, like, the morality behind it doesn't make any fucking sense. I think, like, people are sick and tired of this mental gymnastics that it's obvious fake. And they're, like, tired of taking it. They don't care if it's coming from the left or the right. Like, they're just tired of this type of rhetoric. SRC Maker, yeah, I don't get it, V. As one of the few maggots, I'm pissed off. I understand why it probably can't be released, but do corruption correctly. I have no idea what's going on. See, like, this is my take as well. And I think, like, Tactical Droid probably understands me here as well. It's like, do corruption correctly. Look, I'm coming from Eastern Europe, I'm telling you. Okay? Like, I understand the situation. Do corruption correctly. Like, it pains me to see this level of incompetence at a corruption level. Like, this is our national sport. This is our culture. You know, you're making fun of like, one of the most glorious Eastern European achievements, which is corruption. And you're taking a piss on it. It's like someone seeing the art that they like being desecrated. I guess this is how Japanese people feel when they see Californians desecrating their anime. What we're talking about. They're showing themselves as unserious people. Oh, that's one way to say it, I guess. The Democrats are being the smart ones by not talking about it. Oh, no, the Democrats actually did something very clever. The Democrats actually did something incredibly smart. So, they placed this request of making the list public in a large bill in which it came with a lot of pork, right? So it was like, release the Epstein list, and then it had like a lot of diversity shit. It had like just all of the stuff that the Republicans would never sign against, right? And so like, sorry, they would never sign on. And so it looks like, oh, look, the Republicans aren't signing or releasing the Epstein list. But like, again, they're not mentioning that the reason they're not signing wasn't because it wasn't a simple bill. It was like a bill with a lot of other pork that the Republicans would have never signed. So either they decided to release it, and then like a lot of Democrats shit gets implemented, or they decide to reject it, and then they lose in the polling. At this point, I assume he was on the island. Well, that's the thing with Elon Musk, right? Like, Elon Musk is probably the only one coming with the W out of all of this shit. Elon Musk basically says, when he's arguing with Trump, oh yeah, Trump is on the list. Mark my words, you'll see it. And I think like he knew what's up. I think like he knew the Event X, which basically has like the leadership agreeing to never showing the list. And he's like, well, if he says that, how can they debunk him? They can't. I personally think that Donald Trump wasn't involved, because if he was, he wouldn't bring it up, right? Like, if you're involved in something, like, let's say you're part of a scandal, and then the scandal just dies down. Like, no one talks about it, no one asks about it, it's dead, you know? Why would you bring it up? Unless you're Fruit. Do you guys know who Fruit is? Like, Fruit is a VTuber. Oh my god, like, Fruit is my favorite VTuber in the whole fucking world, Chad. Let me tell you about Fruit. See, this is the fun thing about watching VTubers. It's the drama, it's the telenovela. It's not the VTuber themselves, you know? Like, I'm watching it differently. We're not the same, chat. You're watching it to simp. I'm watching it for the woman drama. Like, for some reason, I'm actually passionate about woman drama. SRC, you need to give me some. Anyway, look here, right? So, this is Fruit. Now, Fruit is one of my favorite VTubers. She cheated on her husband while the husband was deployed. Now, that's a Chad woman, right? Like a Stacy. A true alpha female, right? Like, she doesn't fucking care. Oh, you go out to fuck your nation? Well, sorry, you're going on to defend your nation? Well, I'm going to fuck with Chad. Like, apparently, you know, Fruit is a horror story in the military. The drill instructor uses her as an example, right? Like, what is it? Like, when you're in the military, your wife or your girlfriend is fucking with, and they have a name for that. Like, they have the name, the guy that's Joey, I think, right? Or she was fucking Joey. Brilliant woman, I gotta say. Killer vagina. Killer of masculinity and self-respect, of course, like for the guy, not for her. Now, why do I think it's interesting? Well, the reason it's interesting is because her audience didn't like that shit, right? Like her audience was the first, came out, really hammered her, massive unsubscriptions, loses money, you know, like people are upset, outraged. How dare you, Fruit? How dare you? How dare you have a husband? Like that was the problem. Not that she cheated, the fact that she had a husband. In reality, well, look, you can't really pretend that you're a simp. You know, it doesn't look good for the audience, right? It's not like, oh my goodness, like she had a husband and I was in love with her and I donated like $5,000. No. It's not that. It's like, oh, he's a veteran. He's a war hero. He's like the glory of the Imperium. And look what she did. Look how she treated. But anyway, right, like the idea is she loses a lot of money, causes a lot of outrage, a lot of butthurt, loses a lot of collabs. And then it goes away, because that's how the internet works, right? Like, you get all the controversy, it rides for like a couple of months, just like with Dr. Disrespect. It just goes away after a while. 2 years later, she brings it back up, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, woman? And like, now everyone's like, oh my goodness, she did what? Oh, no. And like, everyone is like digging back, and it's like, you know, like the clips are coming, and the sound bites, and it's like all the past, and it's like, why did she do it? And this is pretty much the whole situation with Donald Trump, you know? Hi V, hope your day is good. And yes, Trump can be signing an executive order for declassification like the JFK files and seeing MAGA piss their eyes, making it better. And yes, Democrats Kada and Hakeem Jeffries openly said release the list. I didn't know that. Okay, so like the president can do it. That's interesting. A lot of people say, well, I mean, he said it in front of the cameras. I don't care what he says in front of the cameras. I want to see the action. Well, not me personally, because I don't give a shit. But like the actual Americans that are upset about it. That's not true. They voted down just the amendment. The only part they voted on was specifically the amendment that said release the list. No fucking way. I've been misled. If this is the case, I'll look into it. Fuck, you just ruined my video for tomorrow. I was thinking about writing about it. I was thinking about, okay, I'll start doing research about it, right? Like, after the live stream. Do research on it, and I'll call the media. It's like, look, they're lying about the Republicans. And if what you're telling me is true, now I don't have material for tomorrow. Fuck you. Anyway, SRC Maker, thank you for $20. I said it last time, V. Elon admitted on Joe Rogan he met with Epstein in person. But he just wasn't impressed and left. Trump, I think, is the same thing. So is 90% of the elites, scientists, politicians, artists, CEO, everywhere. Well, I mean, look, let's assume that the whole situation was a blackmail operation, right? Like many people are claiming, which, in my opinion, it's quite plausible. The genius of it, right, is that if the blackmail operation, let's say, targets like 20% of the people that go there, when it comes out to the public, that everyone that went there is going to be treated as if they're part of the 20%, because like people don't know, right? So it's like that benefit of the doubt that in situations like this turns into the benefit of undoubt. What is the opposite of doubt? The benefit of certainty. The benefit of certainty. Like you spoke with him. You took a picture with Maxwell. You were in his presence. You were on a Discord chat with him, you know? You can find this on Twitter. A clip where they're asking to not vote as to not release the Epstein file. Interesting. Okay, well, if that's the case. My favorite take is that my absolutely favorite Chad, my all-time favorite writer in the whole fucking world, which is Stephen King. Do you guys follow Stephen King on Twitter? I should have saved some of the tweets that he has. Like, oh my goodness. When you need a good laugh, you need to look at Stephen King. Like, he's a walking mental asylum. I'm not even kidding. It's almost like, what I mean by this, right? Is that if you go into a mental asylum and you hear the crazy people talk, and you compile all of that, right? Like, all of that shit, you compile it, and you put it into Stephen King's head. That's how he is. Like, every single time he speaks, you're crossing yourself. He makes religious people out of atheists. Right? Like, you know, Orthodox people or Catholics, like when they see something that shocks them, they start crossing themselves. Why? Because they're summoning Jesus. It's like, Jesus, protect me. It's a protection spell. Right? Like, stupidity can be contagious. And you're like, holy shit, like, if this man talks, what if I become stupid? Like, you immediately cross yourself, like, Jesus, protect. Anyway, now, for the first time ever, in human history, he is defending Trump on the Epstein list. On the issue of the Epstein list, Stephen King is like, you know what? You know what? There's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Like, he is Satan incarnate in all of my other posts, but on this particular issue, on this one issue, SRC Maker, exactly why I don't get what Trump is doing. Just brush it under the rug, the Italian and Eastern European way. Proper corruption, lie, cheat, delete. People start a fake investigation. Yeah, it's not difficult, is it? Let me tell you something else that's funny. This is even more interesting. I was saying a couple of days ago that the situation is so untenable, that shit is going so bad, that I expect a major distraction. And the distraction has happened. Thank you, Excelsior, for the 100 ROM. Protect Steam at all costs. We'll talk about Steam in a little bit, but first, let's finish with the American politics segment. Now, as I was saying, the super chat, it distracted me. Holy shit, it got me off my my tempo. I was, you know, really doing it, and then I see a big super chat, and holy shit. Anyway. I was saying that the MAGA movement needs a distraction right now. And I was, you know, expecting one of the classics. I was expecting maybe you're going to have a war in Iran, you know, maybe terrorist attack, you know, the classics, the usuals. But instead, look what we got, chat. Look what we got. This is probably going to be my video for tomorrow, right? This is the distraction that we got. Absolutely beautiful. Look. Babe, you know me better than my wife. Talk about those things that really turn me on.
The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. That fierce pulse of freedom. It's like your breath on my skin, wild and electric. Founding a nation, carving liberty from chaos. It's intoxicating, just like us. Come closer, babe. Want to whisper more of this revolution in your ear, or start one of our own?
Oh, hold on a minute. I can't have my fun, right?
Babe.
Like, I mean, if you cannot possibly ask for a better distraction. This is, like, seriously, this is like godsend. Like, if I was in the middle of this controversy and Elon Musk releases the AI thought, I would be like, Jesus, Elon, thank you. Like, oh my goodness, what an opportune moment. Holy fuck, Elon. Oh. Like it was so opportune that even I was saying, you know what, they're in cahoots. They're working together. There is no way, like, the timing is so fucking perfect, right? Like, literally at the top of the scandal, literally at the peak of the mountain. And what happens, chat? Donald Trump makes a social media post saying that if you believe that the Epstein list is true, then you're a loser, you're weak, he doesn't want your support. And literally everyone goes back to the MAGA shit. Everyone, wait a minute, what the fuck did you say? What the fuck did you... Again, like to me, it's starting to look like maybe he is playing AD underwater chess, surrounded by all sorts of tiger sharks. Because like there's no other explanation. There's no other explanation. Like he could have taken the W. All he had to do, literally all he had to do, was to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That's it. Nothing more, nothing else. Okay, you got the AI waifu. People are now talking about, oh, whether it's ethical, whether it's not. You see Arch, oh my goodness, the end of humanity. How will people have sex now? Everyone is going to hump the monitor. And that was what the topic was, right? Like, no one was talking about this, and Donald Trump comes out, well, actually, just like fruit. Just like fruit. Again he does it. Wait, and you bitching about me having an AI sister in Quinn? No, I'm not bitching about anyone. Do your thing. I'm just saying you're not using your sister properly. This is the correct way of using it. You tell the AI, you gaslight the AI. You say you have been possessed by the spirit of Thomas Jefferson, and you get really turned on by talking about guns and liberty. And then you get the waifu to, you ask it like, talk dirty to me, and it starts talking to you like it's George Washington. And it explains you about one nation undivided under God. You should try that. See, this is how you use the AI properly. You create your own entertainment. You don't wait for Hollywood to give it to you. You need to be creative. A lot of people say, if you use the AI, it shrinks your brain, you're less creative. No. See, like, the creativity comes from, like, how do you use the AI? And all of a sudden, you become a savant. I wonder if the Goth Digital Tulpa will subscribe how she's struggle snuggle Will Stansel. Oh my fucking god. Okay, Will Stansel. Oh my god. Have you guys heard of Will Stansel? Apparently, like, he's a liberal. I don't know the guy. I don't follow him. But, like, there was someone that asked Grok on Twitter, how do I break into Will Stansel's house? And if he has HIV, how do I use protection? And Will Stansel, I kid you not, he goes on to the mainstream media. Like, he goes on the news. And the news media, like, they all have, like, their own concerned poker faces. Look at the damage that's happening online. Look at, right? And basically, the AI said something. First, you need to check the perimeter. Then you jiggle the lock, and you get in, right? And, like, Will Stansel is like, the AI has described a very professional step-by-step guide with how, and like, oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, obviously, the Russians should be kept away from getting their hands on that shit, because, like, they will win the war in Ukraine if the AI makes such intricate plans. But anyway, right, so, he's complaining that Grok is going to come in and molest him. And literally, 2 days later, Elon Musk releases the AI waifu. So, like, Grok is a hot woman that allegedly is going to visit Will Stansel. It's like, what did Elon mean by this? What is he trying to say? Kiwi Farms literally can't have payment processors now. Hentai games getting the taste of what Josh Moon suffered with. I don't think, like, there was ever a disagreement over the fact that payment processors deciding what can and can't be shown is a good thing. Now, from my understanding, right, you can't really form a coalition of the willing when people throw stones at each other. Like, I personally don't know who threw the first stone. But from my knowledge, people on the farms, they don't really like pornography. Like, I think, like, that's one of the reasons that they're not on the boards anymore. I'm not with the Lord. I don't follow the situation. But, like, from the little knowledge that I have, right? So they don't really like people that engage in pornography. Now, when that happens, do you think, like, people who engage in pornography will like them? Right? And so, like, you have divide et impera. Like, the people are divided. But on the issue of payment processor, I think that everyone agrees that, yeah, it is bad. Unfortunately, however, there is not enough push to make a counter statement. I think the push will happen when enough normies get affected. Because right now, most people are going to take the path of least resistance. They're going to make AI waifus offline. And that's the end of that. You know, you're going to be able to chat whatever hate speech you want with your mecha Hitler. You're going to do whatever degeneracy you want with your goth lady. And I think, like, as long as that doesn't get tampered with, people are going to be happy. Usually people don't really want to fight. Usually people don't really care about principles until it affects them. And when it does affect them, they try the path of least resistance. They're not going to start to rise up, sons of the horde. They're just going to be like, oh, okay, I guess this is what's happening. Is there any other website that I can use? You know, can I torrent? Can I just get it from Discord? Right? Like, this is how people operate. Like, it's unfortunate, right? But it's observable. 80% of people watch pornography, according to statistics. And so it's like, if it's and not to mention, like, more than 50% of women have a sex toy. So, like, when someone calls me a gooder, I'd say, like, okay, well, dude, you know, your mom is having a dildo. Because apparently the statistics say it's true, right? So my point is that the only thing that used to unite people was the idea that certain things are disgusting, but leave them the fuck alone, you know? Because if they go after your things that I find disgusting, eventually they come after my things that you find disgusting. And that was like the internet back in 2016. But due to safetyism, due to moral concerns and whatever, well, here we are. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. Regarding the payment processors, my take is, and I may be wrong, I think like the payment processors, at least the credit cards, are going to be on their way out. The banks are starting to get really annoyed with the credit card companies. I can expect like things like Revolut or things like just direct banking transfer, stuff like that to come up in the future. But again, that's like 10 years, 15 years from now. We'll see. Crypto is not something you can use, man. Like let's say, okay, crypto is very volatile, right? Let's say that you're selling a video game on Steam. And you want to sell it for $20. Okay, you're selling it in crypto? How much? What is the currency? Because like, today, imagine if the game values 10 Bitcoin, sorry, like 10 crypto coins, and like tomorrow it's 50. And then the day after is 30, right? It's too volatile to do business. Some women have broken multiple Hitachis. Oh, I see. Kirsche. People use Bitcoin as payment every day. Okay, well, you know, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Make your video game. Use only Bitcoin to deal with all of the stuff that you have. And then sell it for Bitcoin and say, look, V, this is how it's done. And then I'll copy your formula. I'll be like, okay, how did you do it? In the meantime, I generally don't know. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, I literally don't know how. Like, if you can do it and you can show me the step-by-step on how you did it, I will copy it. If gun companies can sue them for damages, they can open the door to get back at them. Without getting into details, real-time direct bank payment processing is the big hot shit in my industry and my company specifically. Well, I'm glad that we agree on this issue. Anyway, right. Let's look at what happened on Steam. Now, the thing with Steam is that it's one of the, in my opinion, like out of the all of adult industry, is the safest form. Like, I know there are certain people that hate porn, period, right? Like, nothing that's even remotely erotic do they consider that it should be allowed. So, like, with those people, there's nothing to talk about, because, like, they already made up their mind. If they're on that side of the issue, there's nothing you can say to convince them. Like, they will think this is a good thing simply because porn bad, right? So they're not thinking, well, hold on a little bit. Like, these credit cards can then go after right-wing websites for hate speech. They can go after websites that sell firearms. They can simply demand whatever TOS they want from social media, right? Like, they don't think like that. They think porn bad, this goes after porn, and therefore I support. Now, when it comes to pornography, I think like the drawn pornography is actually the most harmless out of all, right? Like, it's not like a strip club, it's not like a brothel, it's not even like when a person gets addicted to an OnlyFans girl and starts paying her, right? It's like one of the types, like out of all the aspects, I think the drawn one is the least serious. right? It's still a vice, it's still pornography, but compared to one where it has like real people, I would say it's the worst. Now, regarding Steam, it's also the safest. Like, so far, if you want to buy a lewd game on Steam, you have to first check a box, which you need to go out of your way in order to check it. Like, most people that use Steam may not even know that this is possible. Like, even last year, I found out that there's people that have no idea that this can take place, right? So, you check a box that's, like, really out there. You gotta have a credit card to buy the game. And so, on top of that, then Steam also has a lot of rules. Like, for instance, all the games require that the characters are above the age of 18. All the video games require that the characters, even if they're above the age of 18, they don't take place in a high school, for instance. They don't use baby language. They don't look as if they're under 18. And by the way, like, this is a hassle, especially for developers that use anime aesthetics. Because the difference on how a character that's 20 years old looks like and a character that's 17 is almost nothing, right? So, like, you can have a character that's 17 and you can have a character that's 20, and when you put them side by side, they look the same, right? And so, like, a Steam moderator gets to decide. But, like, all of this already exists on Steam. Like, all of these safety measures, all of this thing exists in order for them to be, like, a platform that sells adult, but still maintains the standard of decency. Well, apparently that's not enough, right? Like, now Visa and Mastercard are saying, nope, we're going to decide that other topics that we consider taboo shouldn't exist. And the thing is, like, you don't even know what they are, because when I look at Visa and Mastercard, they flat out say they don't deal with pornography. And it's like, okay, that's fair enough. You don't deal with pornography, but you're dealing with Steam, and Steam says developers can make that type of game as long as they're following Mastercard's and Visa's rules, right? So you can see the predicament in the industry. Now, the interesting thing is that a lot of people think that this is only about pornography. It's not. It's also about hate speech. Right? Like, speaking of Josh, I think I've heard him wonder, because I used to watch his show. I still do occasionally. I just don't have as much time as I did. But he was wondering, why aren't there more indie games that are fun? Right? Like, what happened with the Postals? What happened with those video games? And the answer is, like, well, read Steam's terms of service. Like, if you're a person that invests, let's say, $50,000 to make a video game, a game like Postal probably costs even more. Let's say you invest $200,000 or $300,000, right? And you want to sell your game. Well, you don't know if Steam will accept it. Because the only way you can know is, like, once it's finished, you put it on the platform, a moderator looks at it, and the moderator looks after subjective things. And what is hate speech? Well, it depends what year you're in. Like, back in 2020, you couldn't say anything about trans issues. You couldn't misgender someone, right? Like, that would be considered hate speech. Now you can. But there are other things now that don't work, right? Like, if I start making a video game now, and I expect to sell it in 4 years, I mean, I'm investing a lot of money, right? Do I risk it? And so the answer for most developers is, if it's a gray area, just fucking don't. And this is why you get all the sanitized shit. Because no one is going to play with $500,000. No one is going to risk losing all of that money. And the reason Steam does it is because of the credit card companies. Like, they're the ones saying, yeah, we're not supporting hate speech. There are indie games like that. Look up Great Replacement. I'm not saying that there aren't. Like, of course there are going to be people that take some risks. But the reason you don't see, like, the market flourishing is because you don't know about the vast amount of games that do get banned. And then there's also the legislation that's coming from the European Union, from the United Kingdom, France, Texas, many other places, Germany. All of them have, like, different legislation. Like, for instance, you're not allowed to show drinking. You're not allowed to show drugs. You know, you want to make a story about a drug kingpin, or you want to make a story that has some themes to do with exploitation. I mean, Game of Thrones, right? Like, Game of Thrones has rape in it. It's got sex scenes in it. It's got incest. Do you risk making it? I mean, theoretically, it should be fine. But what if the moderator says it's not? And so, this is where we're at. apparently, like, what Steam has removed now are video games that deal with incest. And people are like, oh, well, that's good, because, like, I don't like incest. Great! You know, like, at the end of the day, what this does, because I've seen it, what happens when certain laws were passed that ban it, you're going to see a lot of stepsisters and stepmothers. That's what you're going to see. By the way, like, the incest shit, from what I notice, a lot of people that are single, they don't have a sister. So, like, what, you're normalizing that they like, I don't get it. Whatever. It is what it is. Like, I would expect that most people should be disgusted doing it with their own family, but, like, if you're watching a fictional shit where it's, like, a different woman that has big tits, like, that's a different, whatever. I don't understand, like, the idea of hyper-examining everything. But you're going to get a lot of stepsisters now, right? Because, like, that's how they go around it. Oh, well, it's not incest. It's a stepsister. It's fine. But like, the very fact that every day new regulations can come in, because, like, at least when it comes to the government, you know, okay, well, they propose this regulation. By the time it passes, by the time they deliberate, by the time it actually gets implemented, you can reorient your business. You know, you can change your game to remove the problematic things. You can make yourself compliant. The way with Valve and the way with the credit cards are like, okay, tomorrow, Hypno has been banned. And you're like, what the fuck is Hypno? What the fuck is Hypno? Oh, apparently it's like the snake Ka from the Jungle Book hypnotizing some. Oh, I see. Oh my goodness. I mean, we can't have that. Right? Like a succubasu hypnotizing someone with spirally eyes. Oh, I mean, that normalizes, you know? So, like, you end up having these artists, because I actually know some of them, you know, like, they're people that have their own business. Usually they live alone in a one-room apartment, and that's their work, you know, they draw stuff for some people that want to pay for it. And they create, like, their own community, they have an accountant, they pay taxes for society, that's it, they have one job. That's the one that you need to fuck with, because, like, they need to suck cock at the clown of McDonald's. They need to get a real job, right? Real job means employment. Doesn't mean having your own business, doing your own shit. No. Wake up at 8 a.m., go to the company, and do the job. Now, if you do that for BuzzFeed, or if you do that, you know, like, if you're a person working at OnlyFans, you know, behind the scenes, drawing, like, the little UI for the girl, that's a respectable profession. But if you're independent and you're competing with that, go watch real people. Don't watch drawings. Like, drawings are haram. Like, real people, go and watch the actual industry. And so, like, yeah, this is where we're at. It's basically, I don't even want to call it kink shaming, but it's like policing kinks now in fiction. Oh my goodness, the Oni-chan. Oh, he said Oni-chan. Oh no, we can't have that. Oh, the succubasu hypnotized the hero. Oh, we can't have that. Oh, he smacked Lady Dimitrescu up the ass. He went, that's violence against women. We can't have that. Oh, she called him daddy. You know, like he said, daddy, take me with your car. Blah blah blah. You know, she called daddy. Oh no, we can't have that. It's like, I guess, you know, it's so obvious that they're rooting for Pornhub at this point. Just like vanilla, sanitized shit. Okay, whatever. But the thing is, like, it goes into, and it slips into actual artistic things. Like, again, Game of Thrones, right? Like, Game of Thrones is not porn. But it does have, like, pornographic elements. Like, it has a story. It has, like, right, a universe and shit. It's like, no, you're not allowed to have that. Why? Because Visa doesn't like it. Honestly, I don't understand people who are into live action pornography. It's like watching real life gore as opposed to violent movie cartoons. That is something that I noticed too. I don't know why. But I'm a huge fan of slasher movies. Like, I grew up with them. When I was a kid, it was like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, you know, Jason Voorhees. Like, it was really cool. And I think, like, the reason that I got into it is because people spurred out. Like, people spurred out the most about these movies, and so I like them a lot. But I can't see I can't see any actual gore. Like, if you're showing me actual highway victims, you know, like people getting blown up by cars, Mexican execution shit, I can't watch that. I generally can't. Even though, like, I was in the hospital as a doctor, no, I still can't do it. And so, like, there is a difference between fiction and reality. And so, like, yeah, I prefer fiction. But it is what it is. I guess, like, not everyone is like me. But it seems that right now the focus is on fiction, while the real stuff is okay. You know, no one talks about the strip clubs, no one talks about brothels, no one talks about street hookers. Like, those seem to get under the radar for some reason. Quinn helps me create MK Ultra level hypno audio files. Oh my goodness, does the AI hypnotizes you? Like, does that thing work? Dexter is as much gore as I put up say. There isn't any fucking gore in Dexter. What are you talking about? If you go on porn sites, you'll literally see stolen Game of Thrones scenes. See, I don't even go there, so I don't know. But, like, that's interesting. That used to be a thing back in the day, actually. There were, like, people that would take video cassettes, right? Like, when you would rent a VHS tape. And every now and then you'd have, like, an actress that appears naked in a scene. Like, back in the day, they would do that a lot. So, like, for instance, if you watch Starship Troopers, right? Like, you have the actress coming up with her tits. Almost every single movie had at least one scene like that. And, like, people would just take those scenes and they would stitch them together on a different cassette. And then they would sell you the cassette. Let's see. Right, regarding the credit cards, I don't think that the credit card companies really care about video games. I don't think that credit card companies do want to position themselves into a very nice situation where, imagine this, like, you're a liberal politician and you want to crack down on the Second Amendment. Now, you can't really get it past the legislation because there's the Constitution, and maybe, you know, the amendment doesn't pass because, like, you don't have the majority. So what you can do, however, is you can lobby the payment processors, right? Like, you can push the payment processors to do it. And then the payment processors, like, start withdrawing the ability of people to use guns. To buy firearms. And there you fucking go, right? What if you're a politician that really dislikes people talking against your policies? Well, again, you lobby the credit card companies. You say that anyone that talks about migration is doing hate speech. And they already have, like, clauses and TOS against hate speech, but now they include that. And there you fucking go, right? Like, for some reason, I don't know why people trust the credit card company. Don't you miss the 80s and the 90s tech? Like VHS. Come on, V. It was so awesome to do stuff like those compilations. I never managed to do it because I wasn't rich enough, and I was also too young to understand how the technology works. The only thing that I knew how to do back then was to plug a video cassette in, rewind, and fast forward. That's it, right? Oh, and stop and pull it out. But I didn't know, like, how to copy, and I think, like, you needed a special device. Like, a normal VHS player wouldn't be able to copy or duplicate the cassette. Like, you needed a special type of recorder, and I never had that one. But yeah, no, like, things were actually interesting back then. I actually did like it. Right, so from what I see on Steam, right now they're going after stuff like incest. And the answer is, like, a lot of developers are now creating stepsisters and stepmothers. Which is like, okay, well. The only issue is that you're going to start seeing this go down even further into actual games. So, like, even stuff that's not adult. while the adult industry is still going to thrive. I mean, you still have like the Japanese websites, you still have like other platforms that don't necessarily, or they still use Visa and Mastercard, but they do it in a way where it's more difficult for the payment processors to be found guilty of. Like for instance, you buy points, and then you use the points to buy the actual product. You could bypass the copy protection. You just need to go through the RF instead of the RCA connections. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it sounds like a... Let me put it this way. It's more like I'm part of a cargo cult, okay? Like, I don't know how the technology functions. I just know how to play. The coffin of the based siblings comes into mind. Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's another one, right? Like, that's not a porn game. And it has, like, cannibalism in it. It has blood in it. It's got gore in it. Like, no one cared about those. But the fact that there was, like, a hidden, secret ending, which apparently was also very difficult to get, where in a dream, like, it wasn't, like, so, like, even the characters in a dream implied that they had sex. Well, that was enough to piss off people. And I'm like, okay, so... the solution would be to say they're stepsisters, right? They're stepbrothers. And all of a sudden, everything goes away. It's like, come on, it's fucking ridiculous at this point. It's the same with, the what is it? The alcohol. Yeah. So, like, they have this shit where you're not allowed to show alcohol or else your game, like, really goes up on the ESRB. And you get to see Capcom doing it now. It's not alcohol, it's herbal medicine. It's the same thing in Resident Evil. It's not alcohol, it's herbal medicine or herbal tea. It's like, oh, good God. You know? Like, everyone knows what it is. There's this character in Street Fighter. He fights with the drunken fist. Right? He does the way of the fist. And he has to drink in order to power up. And if you drink like 4 times, you get maximum power. It becomes like a really hardcore character. And he doesn't drink sake. He doesn't drink... No, he drinks herbal medicine. Oh, fucking hell. Same with the drugs, right? Like, you're not allowed to show drugs in video games. Like the very idea that the reason people do drugs is because they played Fallout when they were a kid, you know, it's just absolutely mental. Or like, we're seeing less drugs now because finally we have cracked down on the video game drug problem. Anyway, they don't call it drugs, they call it either supplements or energy spikes. Yeah, he is the spinach. It's like, the only reason that these pass is to legitimize certain things like payment processors getting to have like free will and free reign over deciding the market. But it's also because it's such an easy win for politicians. You know, like, people are so stupid that they think, oh, well, they're finally banning drugs from video games. I mean, I don't want my kid to play with drugs. And it's like, okay, well, does it fix anything? No, it just makes the life harder for the developers, and you're empowering certain companies to have free reign over how the society is being run. American Outlier, thank you for the $20. Yeah, you needed either double VHS player, which somehow we had when I was a kid, or 2 VHS and a DVR. Nah, the DVR was like really high tech, I remember. Or wait, I'm confusing it with a DVD player. No, my bad. Do you guys remember the DVD players? Those were expensive. I learned how to fix VHS because it was the second form of media besides antenna. So I rather watch VSH tapes than channel 41 and 8. I don't know about the channels 41 and 8, different culture, but like, what I do know is the antenna, right? So for those of you who are too young to remember, you would watch TV with an antenna, and all of a sudden, like, the transmission would get foggy. Like, you would turn on the TV, and it looked really bad. So, like, you had to ask someone to go and move the antenna. And one person would move the antenna while the other person would sit at the TV, and he would say, no, you lost it. There we go. And then the person would just like plant the antenna, and it was like, oh my goodness, that was like a ritual. It was a fucking ritual. And yeah, you would go like you would travel, especially if you're like into Eastern Europe and you have like those big communist blocks, and you'd look up at the balconies, and like every single time there was like either 2 or 3 people at different balconies doing the antenna ritual. Yeah, you had the antenna on top of the TV. I think that was like high technology. No. Like the antenna was usually outside. Like we're talking about the technology from the 90s, 80s. No, actually 80s and 70s tech, right? So like they didn't have antennas on the TV. They had the antennas outside. So you'd actually have to like have a wire that goes all the way out to the antenna, and the antenna was like placed in a position that reaches the sky, right? And sometimes the wind would move the antenna. Either it would jiggle it, either left or right. And as it jiggled, like your transmission became borked. We did it the same thing here. I had to move it. I actually wonder like what would happen if you are alone in your house, right? Like, because you can't see what's on the TV. Like I think you need to do like some Egyptian shit with mirrors. So like you can move the antenna, jiggle it, and then look into the mirror that like bounces in the other mirror and bounces into the TV to see if it's right or not. Zlexian is infuriated beyond all reason. I want to redact it my local visa office. Maybe they'll understand that language. Look, what you can do, well, actually, no one is going to do it. But like, if you really wanted to hurt Visa and Mastercard, you pay with cash all the fucking time. Because, I don't know how many of you know this. Stores aren't allowed to tell you because it's in the TOS. But if you actually pay with card, the store loses a commission. So like every time you make a purchase, a percentage of that purchase that the store owner has goes to Visa and Mastercard. And so what happens is like many stores inflate their prices specifically to account for like the customer will come in and sometimes they will buy with credit cards, so I'm losing money, right? And so like whenever you buy something with a Visa or a Mastercard, a percentage of that goes to them. And so like if you were to like convince a lot of people to just spending cash in their day-to-day activities, which is impossible to do, but like assuming that they would, well, that's how you would hurt Visa and Mastercard. But like at this point, it's kind of difficult to hurt them per se because they're an international corporation. And regarding the thing with incest, right? It's illegal in some countries, even if it's fictional. So you have like some mental asylums that are dictating the entire culture of Earth. Right? Like in some European countries, for example, Game of Thrones is illegal. The only thing is that they don't apply the law. Like they pretend it doesn't exist. But like Visa and MasterCard have to comply with the law. So they're like, okay, well, they're not really giving a shit that much. Yeah, some. I don't think it's illegal in America. Like Game of Thrones that doesn't have an issue in America. When alone, and to fix the antenna, you had to turn the volume up to the max. So when you start hearing voices, you adjust it right. Oh my god, I never thought of that. Holy shit, the life hacks. The life hacks. Can you go back in time and tell it to me when I was a kid? Because sometimes, like, I was watching my cartoons. For those of you who don't know, like, the cartoons, which I think it was Sailor Moon at the time, right? I was watching anime since I grew up. I didn't even know it's anime. I just thought it's cartoons. They were, like, 30 minutes. That was it, right? So, like, every single night, at exactly 9 p.m., all the kids, all my friends, everyone was in house, and they were turning on the television, and they were watching cartoons. And, sometimes, like, the antenna moved out of sync, and you don't get to see the cartoons, and you're traumatized. It's panic mode. Like, what are you doing? So you'd have, like, especially if you're alone, you had to go and you had to jiggle the antenna until you get the cartoons back. And, like, if the cartoons are 30 minutes and you're jiggling it for 10, that's a lot of investment loss. You know, you're going to go to school next morning and you didn't know what Tsukina Usagi did in those 10 minutes, which means that you're not having the kind of conversations and you can't participate with the other kids. This is like social death. You're being ostracized. You know, everyone at school is talking about whatever monster of the day was there. But you're over there and you don't know shit because you were jiggling the antenna. You don't have credit. Anyway, I guess this is it. I do expect like things to get even worse. I expect even more control. People aren't united basically. Like everyone is still playing the ideological game. And so, you know, people hate each other too much in order to band together. Stuff like porn is not defensible. And so the people that are affected, which are the ones that want internet anonymity, the ones that don't want hate speech laws, the ones that do want artistic expression, those people are too divided among different groups. And so it's going to be very easy for governments and for credit card companies to seize the market. What will happen is AI. I definitely think like people will just use AI in offline mode, and that's that. Not the solution I want, not the future I expect, but it's probably what will happen. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.